I want you to live a rich life. And I don't mean wealth. I mean, if you want to travel, I want you to be able to do that. If you want to spend more time with your family and strengthen your relationships, that should be an option for you. I want you to achieve greatness in ways you didn't think were possible. And that's what this channel's about. So my name's Matt. You found Team Bitcoin. I'm sharing today some actual trades. I do this about once a week. And those other days I cover Bitcoin news because I'm a firm believer in Bitcoin and what that allows people to do over time if you thoroughly understand the problems that it's solving. So let's get into these trades, but first let me pull up a video that I recorded on Sundays. It will better explain what's going on here. Next up, well, let me back Bitcoin news today that track what I would consider the 500 greatest companies in America. I have to buy his company because it's getting added to the S&P 500. So I would guess that the stock's going to go up in the short term as a result of that. So again, not giving financial advice, but how I'm going to play it, I'll sell a put against it at about $70 a share, maybe 1 to 2 contracts, obligate myself to buy $7,000 to $14,000 worth of this company's stock, and I'll collect that premium. Possibly I buy some shares at that lower price. If I don't, I just keep the premium. That's how I'm. Okay, so Sunday, I basically said I was going to play Monday, and I did that. And I want to show you those trades. So let's talk about this. The green highlighted one here is the first one. Estimated 50% annually on that first trade there, if I could write this over and over again. But the duration of this particular trade is only 25 days. So the return I'm estimating will be 3.4%. So let's talk about this. What is this? Well, I'm huge in options, in the options market. I've been doing it for a long, long time. And I normally, rather than just buying the shares outright or putting a limit order to buy it at a lower price, this is typically how I enter a trade, and it's because I trade normally in 100 share blocks of whatever I'm obtaining. So I sold to open a put. What that says is I'm agreeing to buy it at $73 a share, one contract, and I received, when I wrote this trade Monday, $2.48 per share. One option contract is 100 shares, so deposited immediately into my account for entering this trade was $248. Just showed up right away. It's like pennies from heaven. It's beautiful. So what happens with this contract? Well, I wait. Now I could close it out early, and funny enough, I could close it out tomorrow and make a profit. But I'll just wait because I'm not in a rush. If I close it out tomorrow, I won't make the $248. I might make $20 or $30. But that's because of time erosion, and that's a whole nother video. So I need, in order to write this, to play this fun little game, $7,300. So I have that in the account. It's just kind of on the sidelines. It waits. It's obligated. It's tied up in this trade. I can't spend it or withdraw it until this expiration date or until I close out the trade. Next one, the second one here, number 6. This one is, I would say, a little more conservative because the strike price that I agreed to pay is lower. So I got paid less because the risk to me having to buy the shares is lower. So I need $7,000 for this trade. If I could write it over and over again annually, it would be 30%. As I said, I entered it on Monday. It expires 1 week out further than my last trade. So there's a little bit more time I have to wait. Obviously the ticker symbol, one contract, and I got $1.85 per share. A option contract is 100 shares, so I received immediately $185 to enter this trade. Now, last one. This is an advanced technique, and if you don't want to monitor the stock every day and watch what it's doing and follow the news, I wouldn't ever recommend doing this, but I do, and so I'm showing it to you. I sold to open a call. I don't actually own the shares. So if you go back to the concepts that I explained in my last video, when you're selling a call, you're obligating to sell something,
In this case, it would be Block Technology. However, I don't actually own the shares. And there's the potential, it's scary when you hear it, that if Block were to fire up and fire up and fire up before this date, well past this strike price, every dollar it goes above that, I lose $100. I lose $100. Now, I don't think it's actually going to hit $97.50 by this date, and that's why I wrote it. The other reason I wrote it is if Block itself goes down, the stock price, I could close this out early and make a profit. And the other reason I wrote it is because if I have to buy, say, a 100 share Block at 73, then this right here will turn into a covered call, meaning I own the shares now, and I've agreed to sell it at a price that's $10, $15 higher. So, for every $100 up, that's $100, $200, $300, all the way up to $1,500. I'll sell it at that if I need to. Don't think I will, but I could. In 2 months, it's possible. So the total of those 3 trades is $569. I would guess it took me about 3 to 4 minutes to set that up. So $569 worth of pay for my 3 to 4 minutes, to me, is worth it. But I need time. Options need time. And if you're willing to be patient, then the rewards that you reap get large if you have the time. So the younger you are, the better this looks. And I also shared this other trade the other day with iBit, which I firmly believe in. So the total of all these trades, $1,408.69. Already deposited in my account, already, funny enough, reinvested into something else. And that's how I do it. Now, I do hundreds of trades a week. I kid you not. I've been doing this a long time. And I'm only showing you just a couple of them, right? Because I want you to understand the concepts. I don't want you to copy what I'm doing. That's not the point of this. I want you to understand what I'm doing. If you don't understand, ask the question. Ask the question. And I will tell you, I will explain to you, I will walk you through it. I will take that time because I want you to be rich in life. So with that, I know that's a lot of rambling, but tomorrow's a new day, so peace out.